Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I hope you're having a great and incredible day or night in Jesus. Thank you so much for being here, Sister Waldron. I want to say thank you for being here. We're looking at the Kabbalah, or however you'd like to pronounce it, and monotheism. So let's get started. We're on the Plato.Stanford.edu, or the Stanford Dictionary of Philosophy, and we're looking at this supposed to be monotheistic religion. We're going to examine maybe a few monotheistic religions and see, are they really monotheistic? Do they believe in one theistic God, not a pantheon of gods? It can't be two wills, two minds, multiplicity, on and so forth. We've gone over that. You may want to check out some in our morning series here. We do some night videos too on occasion, and our church services. Check those out. But anyhow, let's get started. But we've been doing the morning of monotheism, so we went into how you can only have one perfect, and two perfects are nonsensical. Both wisdom and intelligence, talking about Kabbalah, emerge or emanate from the crown of Ein Sof. Wisdom is the ideal thought of everything that will emerge in creation. The idea exists at this stage in a confused and undifferentiated form, however. Wisdom is sometimes pictured as a fountain which springs out of nothingness, the crown, and from which the other Sephirot will flow, these 10 branches of the Ein Sof. Sometimes as a seed or a germ from which everything develops, and sometimes as a point. And to me, you get some evolutionary vibes, even though it's just, 1200 AD and stuff. The idea behind the last image is just as the movement of a point generates a line, and the movement of a line generates a surface, so the movement of wisdom, together with the movement of intelligence, generates the other Sephirot, or Sephirot may be called. Intelligence is the principle of individuation and differentiation, and enfolds what is folded up in wisdom. So intelligence unfolds you have wisdom, intelligence unfolds that. Individuation and differentiation are terms that you get into as we've studied the Trinity here recently that are very prominent there. How do you individuate and differentiate the Trinity, so to speak? If wisdom was the confused or undifferentiated thought of creation, intelligence is that thought become clear and distinct. So wisdom is confused. It's, as it says, undifferentiated thought of creation. Intelligence makes it clear and distinct. I'm going to make sure my phone is off here. It is not, and we will occasionally get all kinds of things, including phone calls, if I don't do that. So now it is on airplane mode. Okay, so the doctrine of divine emanations in Kabbalah or Sephirite might already be thought to compromise God's unity. Notice emanations, very Gnostic terminology, but not always. But matters become still more problematic in an influential treatise that was composed in Provence around 1230 AD and falsely ascribed to Haggon. According to its pseudonymous author, 3 hidden lights, and this is going to prove interesting, are found in the root of roots that exist above the first Sephira, the inner primordial light, the transparent or ultra clear light. God is light, in him is no darkness at all. If you remember, the clear light, like Ezekiel 1, these lights are one thing and one substance that are found without separation, without union, in the most intimate relation with the root of roots. Remember, Jesus is the root and the offspring of David, the bright morning star, Revelation 22:16. So you see some similarities here. And so these lights are one thing, one substance found without separation, without union, most intimate relation with the root of roots, or more strongly, are the very name and substance of the root of all roots. The 3 lights are the immediate source of the 3 supreme Sephirot of pure thought, knowledge, and intellect. And believe it or not, in the same century, you may have had Aquinas talking about some of these things. But whereas the Sephirot themselves are clearly created or emanated, the triad of the lights illuminate one another uncreated and unemanated without beginning in the hidden root, according to the pseudo-Hai, H-A-I, then a triad exists in the hidden Godhead itself. So here we have a Kabbalistic piece of literature from Provence in 1230 AD saying basically the Godhead consists of three somethings, and it's hidden in God. So that's pretty amazing. So later Kabbalists were aware of a possible connection between these ideas and Christian Trinity, but explained the latter as a corruption of the former. Jesus' disciples were themselves real Kabbalists, only their Kabbalah was full of mistakes. This is according to ancient Kabbalists. Their doctrine of the Trinity was a result of their misinterpretation of the doctrine of the three lights. So they knew of the three light doctrine, but misinterpreted. This is the thing, Christians and Jesus. Whatever one thinks of this, there are striking similarities between the two doctrines, but there are also important differences. The lights are neither persons nor hypostases in God. For example, there's no mention of specific relationships between them, such as begatting and being begotten, or spiration and procession, which are classical, developed theological terms: spiration, procession, begotten, all of this. And this comes from Gershon Scholem, 1987, which he is a fantastic historian in a lot of ways. I can't vouch for everything he said, but in a lot of things, he's kind of like the historian on certain sticky questions of Judaism. So, let's read one more paragraph. The suspicion of Christian influence, by no means restricted to Pseudo-Hi's doctrine of three lights, however, for philosophical opponents of the Kabbalah, had already suggested that the doctrine of the ten Sephirot was itself of Christian origin. Scholem says this, 1987, page 354. Nor was this criticism easily laid to rest. Thus, Isaac bar Sheshbet Parfit, who lived 1326 to 1408, says Gelman in 213, page 46, that he had heard a philosopher speak in a defaming manner of the Kabbalists, saying the Gentile Christians are believers in a Trinity, and the Kabbalists are believers in a Trinity. So if you've got a Trinity among mainstream many Christians, which I would not believe that, but then Kabbalism borders on a Trinity, even though the 10 are not necessarily referred to as persons and not 10 hypostases. So pretty fascinating. So we're looking, are things that claim to be monotheistic really always monotheistic? So we'll keep going on this again. So God bless you. We love you. Check out our other videos. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.